I was talking to my wife the other night, and I said, you know, I really feel that I'm at a disadvantage here because I'm not really a politician. I'm not used to running for anything. I don't come from a political family background. Thank you. As a matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, the last time I ran for elective office was 1972. It was my student council high school, and I won. So I can sit up here and say that I'm undefeated in my political career, but I'm a little bit rusty. So I was talking to Kathy, my wife, and I said, you know, I really feel kind of outgunned by these young guys who are handsome and they've got more hair or they've got darker hair. And I was trying to get some advice on what to do, and she said, well, honey, why don't you just treat this like a courtroom? Instead of running it like a political campaign, treat it like a courtroom. So I'd like to do that. In the next 4 minutes, I'd like to prove my case and tell you why I'm the best candidate for Volusia County Judge in Group 4. If you were the jury, the judge would instruct you that you have to consider two things. Number one, you have to consider the law and you have to consider the facts. The law in this case is that in order to be a county court judge, you need to be admitted to the Florida bar for 5 years or more, and you need to be a resident of Volusia County. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to enter into a stipulation here. All the candidates for my group have been around for more than 5 years and live in Volusia County. Although I tell you, not all of them own property in Volusia County. I'm a homeowner in Volusia County, so I'm kind of invested here, but we all have legal residence here. Now I'd like to tell you the facts that make me the best candidate in this race. I'm 58 years old. I have spent half my life, 29 years, in courtrooms. Not only courtrooms in Volusia County, where I've been in front of, I think, just about every judge in Volusia County, but I've practiced in courtrooms from Duval to Monroe, that's Jacksonville to Key West, over to the other side of the state, Tampa, St. Pete, Hillsborough County, down the middle of the state, Sebring, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Fort Myers, Collier County, Lee County. I've been around. I've been in front of hundreds and hundreds of judges over the past 29 years. So I have the experience to know what makes a good judge and what makes not such a good judge. Fact number two, I've also got experience. I believe that I'm the only candidate who is actually admitted to practice in front of the United States Supreme Court, although I'll tell you, I've never argued a case there. I'm glad I didn't argue the one yesterday. However, I am authorized and admitted to practice in the U.S. Supreme Court. I'm admitted to practice in a couple of the United States federal district courts in the Southern District of Florida and out in the Southern District of Illinois. Fact, I have tried all kinds of different cases. Criminal cases, I've done everything from traffic tickets up to and including murder in the first degree. I believe that I'm the only candidate who's ever been what's called death qualified. That means I met the educational and experiential requirements of a candidate, of a lawyer to represent someone who's facing the death penalty potentially. I've tried civil cases, everything from representing a 6-year-old kid who had his face ripped off by a guard dog to motor vehicle accidents, divorces, contract actions. I told a group last night I actually had to try an action for replevin here recently in front of Judge Graham. How many of you know what replevin is? A couple. I had to look it up myself. So you're never too old to learn, for those of you who might fear that. I don't pretend to know it all, by the way. I've been around long enough to know that I can always learn new things, and I welcome learning new things. I had an experience a couple years ago in county court, but I'm not going to have time to talk about it. I was born and raised in Iowa, born in the middle of the last century. Went to school at the University of Iowa, worked my way through college as a truck driver, an iron worker, a heavy equipment operator. I then taught school for a couple of years, couldn't handle that stress and went back to law school. Went to law school in Baltimore. Before I graduated, I had a job offer that brought me down to Florida. I stayed in South Florida for many years. I'm going to admit, although I'm married now, I was divorced then. I had some family responsibilities. And I think that I may be the only candidate, well, I know that only 2 of us, I believe, have children that are in this race. I was divorced. I stayed in South Florida for many years until my son graduated from high school because family responsibilities, I didn't want to leave him. As soon as he graduated, I was up here. Since moving here, I've been involved in the Rotary, involved in elementary school activities. and I'm out of time before he uses the cane. My name is Steve Burk. I'd like to be Volusia County's next county court judge in Group 4. Thank you.